Welcome back to Capital Connection. FTSE Russell and ADS Investment Solutions today announcing a joint launch of the new Saudi Arabia-focused index. This index will be listed on the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange and is reportedly designed to minimize volatility. It comes, of course, as growing demand from investors for Saudi Arabia and looking for solutions, basically, to facilitate investments into the kingdom. I'm joined now by my guest here in the studio. Ryan, talk to me through this. You're the Senior Executive Officer at ADS Investment Solutions. And the whole goal of this, of course, is to make it easier to invest in the kingdom. A lot of questions about how that's actually going to be possible, given all of the reforms that we've seen coming out of the Saudi government in the last several months. But there still are questions on the minds of international investors. How is this going to address that?
Well, that's many questions. I'm going to try to answer them one by one. So the first one, there aren't many channels of investments towards the capital market in Saudi Arabia. There are just a couple of ETFs and funds that invest into Saudi Arabia. So international investors are really asking for exposure to Saudi Arabia. No stock picking, just some ETF or an index to go in passively and through a systematic strategy. Now, why are they interested in that? Because Saudi Arabia today is reforming, it is changing. And generally, investors who look at emerging markets, they look at emerging markets that are reforming, not these static emerging markets. Today, Saudi Arabia is not only changing, it is literally transforming. It is what Dubai has done a few years ago, and we've seen the result of what Dubai has done. So if Saudi Arabia manages to pull through all of these plans, the 2030 and others, and I do believe that they will, with some execution risk, obviously, because any plan has execution risk, it will be a tremendous success.
Of course, this is Saudi Arabia right now, the second best performing stock index in the world. So much excitement, as we say. But in terms of that international investment flow, where do you see that headed over the next year? Because there have been a lot of speculation about how much money we're really going to see flowing into that market, whether that could be between 30 and 45 billion. I mean, talk me through the numbers.
We're estimating around $40 to $42 billion between passive and active funds. Obviously, FTSE has upgraded Saudi Arabia to emerging markets on the 29th of March. We're expecting MSCI to do the same end of June. So between these two indices, all of the passive managers will get into Saudi Arabia, and they're already interested in Saudi Arabia. So yes, it's around $40 billion, and that's a sensible amount.
So trading the index, obviously, you're talking about the volatility there. I mean, what are we looking at in terms of sector-specific volatility? Obviously, there are a lot of construction stocks on this exchange. There's a lot of interest, obviously, with Aramco coming online. I mean, what's your outlook there?
Regarding the index, it's a particular index constructed with FTSE to minimize risk and minimize volatility. So we have a cap on sectors. So even if Aramco goes in, is listed, it will not distort the index. There will be a cap on it. Our aim is to minimize as much as possible risk.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.